Previously on
IndieGoGo.
Hi everyone, this is Dan, and this is last week on IndieGoGo for the week ending in November 22nd. And here we go again. We got another 5 campaigns to look at on IndieGoGo. And I know I haven't done a comic book review this week. I'm going to actually post probably several comic book reviews going into next week, including Ninja Turtles and Secret Wars. Just hang tight there. Kind of gotten a bit of a hang up with the artwork that I was doing for the videos, so I wanted to give myself a little more time to get it done for the videos that I have planned. But until then, we still got some campaigns to go over, and this was actually a pretty busy week on IndieGoGo. A lot of stuff came out, and a lot of stuff that's actually very good looking, though I will say for these campaigns, they're all kind of pricey, so heads up on that one. First book we're going to take a look at, this is the Mermaids comic book by Adam Post. He looks like he is, I have no idea where this town is, but I think he's based out of New York, if I remember. Essentially, the tagline is right here, Game of Thrones with mermaids. Art looks fantastic, especially this cover. This cover is really nice looking. Again, so the thing to note about campaigns done by Adam Post is that he's basically almost always, for the books that I've seen, like College of the Dead, which is what he's known for previously, they're almost always done, essentially before he even campaigns. For the most part, he just basically prints them once he's finished with the campaign. And this book is, for the most part, looks like no exception. Scripts, pencils, inks, colors, everything is done. And it's just going to get printed sometime next year and shipped out. So again, Adam Post is essentially, he runs the campaigns and he's a publisher, but he hires people to write and do interior art and all that other stuff. It looks like actually a pretty smart setup for the most part. Looks very interesting. This cover is dope. I like this cover a lot. Though there is a lot of empty space right here, but for the most part, this is a cool cover. And let's get into the interior. Yeah, this is another cool ass cover. Let's get into the interiors here. So this is what you can expect on the interiors, and this very much reminds me of College of the Dead 2, because I think he actually uses the same format. So an interesting thing about Adam Post books is he runs a standard layout. So he basically, it's almost like comic book or a comic strip kind of format. So it looks like here he's going with the 2x3 6-panel layout. Though the art in here looks really good. My only hope here is that he opens up the panels more and that there's less gutters compared to his previous books. But I complained about it in House of the Dead. I think of the video game College of the Dead too. But I still enjoyed that book a lot. So it looks like he's gonna. It looks like, even looking at this right here, it looks like he's gonna open up a bit. The artwork looks great. Kind of a sort of faded coloring, but looks pretty good for the most part. I like the way that the mermaids are drawn in this. This actually looks pretty good. Yeah, so and then he always does a making of the book, which is like this 100-page extra that he does if you're into that. Though you're going to have to buy the promoted tier right here, which is $75, which is a little bit on the pricey side. So definitely recommend the $25. It's a 48-page graphic novel. So again, this is a Comicsgate price. So that most Comicsgate books are 48 pages at $25. So that translates to about 52 cents per page, which is a little pricey. But you are getting, typically a lot of these CG books tend to have quality art. Now story, sometimes here and there. But I will say this, I did enjoy the story to College of the Dead 1 and 2. So I expect this to be pretty decent as well in terms of storytelling. And the art looks to be even better than College of the Dead. So take a look at this book. Looks pretty promising, and Adam Post, he always delivers. So not a lot of risk in terms of whether you'll get your book or not for this project. Let's go on to the next one. This is ASYL, something like that, a horror comic. This is run by Nasser Rabadi out of Chicago. So essentially, this is a black and white comic horror genre. And I'm kind of familiar with the name Nasser Rabadi, but I never backed any of his books. I will say this, overall, the art actually looks pretty promising. I don't know if this artist is a pro or not, but looks pretty decent for an Indiegogo for an Indiegogo project. I will say this though, there's one weakness of the book. It's black and white, 20 pages, and the problem with that is that he's going to charge you $10 for it. So black and white, 20 pages, I could, spend $10 for 20 pages, or if you go to any of the previous Alterna Comics campaigns that I went over, those are all horror comics, some of them black and white, some of them colored, for 48 pages for $10. So while I think it's a cool concept and it looks like he's funded, so good for Nasser, it's really, really pricey, especially if you consider black and white. This kind of suffers the same problem that your boy Zach had, though less to the degree. Like he charged $15 for 24 pages. This is $10 for 20 pages. Still a little too expensive. I'm hoping what will happen is that, he's going to color it. Nah, I wouldn't do that, dude. I would add more pages. Honestly, that's what I would do, is I would add more pages. Or add like a second backup story. Like if his story's done in 20 pages, then add like an 8-page or 12-page short, right, to it. I think we kind of have to wait to see what happens here. But, if you're into horror comics or that kind of stuff, check it out. But, kind of pricey. So that's ASYL. Let's take a look at this. This is Monster Hunt. Let's Get Kraken. I don't like that title. This is by Mike Miller, running out of Spring Valley. I think he's out of San Diego. Yeah, he always talks about it. So a couple of criticisms of this, very similar to what I said before. I think on his other one that he did for Lone Star. Again, you kind of have to run through this to figure out what he's trying to sell, because he does his usual spiel where he talks about himself, Injustice, and his work on Game of Thrones, rather than what this actual book is. What this book actually is, and this is kind of the unfortunate part because this is actually really cool, is this is Mike Baron returning to write Nexus. He's already done this a couple times for your boy Zach, but he's going back to write Nexus, and then I think Mike Miller is using his character Lone Star and Doug TenNapel's character Bigfoot Bill in a cross-up, kind of like Marvel Team Up, and Matt Weldon has drawn it. And Matt Weldon is well known on a lot of Antarctic press books. And so if you get any books from those guys, you'll probably be familiar with Matt Weldon. It's full color, 48 pages by these guys. Covers look really cool. This is the Matt Weldon cover. This is Bigfoot Bill looks a little odd here. And this is a pretty cool Elliot Hernandez. It's a Secret Wars, obviously, homage. This Kelsey Shan cover is really cool. I like this. I like the perspective distort right here with Bigfoot Bill, and then the flash in the middle. You can see the blue and all this kind of contrasting with each other. This is really, really cool. I like this cover a lot. So obviously nothing bad to say about the art for this. And Mike Baron is, fantastic writer, very, very solid. So in terms of what you're getting here, good art and good writing, it's actually a great deal, which is unfortunate because the page is a little bit, it doesn't get to the point right away, which is, hey, this is 48 pages, Mike Baron, Matt Weldon, what more do you want? But you can pick this up for $19, which is a little more affordable. It's about 40 cents per page, similar to Lone Star. I'm not sure. I think you can pick up the other Monster Hunt book that he did, which was like a crossover with Jawbreakers and Graveyard Shift, back when Mike was, I guess, still kind of cool with everybody. Anyway, I don't know what the heck's going on now, but this is actually really, really cool. Unfortunately, one point of criticism is I don't know why this is up front. He needs to bring this up front. This is what matters. What matters is Mike Baron, Matt Weldon, and Micus Miller kind of, I guess, being like editor in chief or something like that. I'm not sure, but yeah, for full color, 48 pages. Get to the point, right? But yeah, no, check out Monster Hunt. Let's Get Kraken. Looks like he's funded at 6,000 with 27 days. He's probably going to do the thing that everybody has lately been doing, which is apparently you can kind of trick the algorithm on IndieGoGo. So you run like 30 days, and then it gives you a boost when you start and a boost when you end. And then right before you end, you refresh it for another 30 days, and you get another boost in the algorithm, or something like that. I don't know. Weird stuff. But yeah, here's the next book. This is Sovereign Wolf. This is going to be run by Edward Winkler out of Chicago. Another Chicago guy, man. He looks like he's already funded with 29 days to go. And this is essentially, this is kind of like Graveyard Shift. It's a horror monsters as heroes kind of thing. Or I guess maybe like Replicator in a way. But it's pretty cool. What's really cool is value. So check this out. Over 100 pages, 50-page main story. What is this? 18-page prequel, 8-page side story, 10 pages of pinups, 8 pages of character files, and a bunch of other extra crap too. So just stories, so that would be the 50, the 18, and the 8. You're talking at least, down in the 30-cent range per page. It drops way more in terms of the value that you get. So it is a Comicsgate price, so you are talking about $25, but the amount of story that you get in here and content kind of justifies the $25 in this instance. My guess is this is going to be perfect bound, and it's looking like, so he's going to give you 3 trading cards, a print, and the graphic novel, and then unlock stretch goals. That's pretty good. Yeah, this is a good package for $25. Art looks fantastic. Again, I don't know why, but for some reason, like horror comics do a lot of crowdfunding. I'm wondering if it's because horror comics are not popular in the mainstream for like publishing. Because I see a lot of horror comics, like a lot of like EC Comics type stuff. This kind of reminds me of Graveyard Shift. Like it reminds me a lot of Graveyard Shift, which is not a bad thing. Graveyard Shift is very good. But yeah, no, this is a great value. It looks like he's got some more stretch goals they could potentially get. Yeah, Dose of Action. DOA, like, I'm sorry. DOA doesn't remind me of Dose of Action. It reminds me Dead or Alive. Sorry, I had to get that out of my head right here. But yeah, this is a great looking campaign. Looks like he's well on his way. First time. I think this is his first campaign. Yeah, this is his first campaign. So he's got $4,000 right off the bat in the first day. And I think this looks like it. I mean, I feel like this should be like a $50,000 campaign or higher. But yeah, no, best of luck to Edward Winkler. Eddie or Edward? Not sure. Sovereign Wolf Clan Destiny. So now we got the wild card here, and I think anyone who saw my review of She Won, I think this was kind of obvious I was gonna talk about She Haikyo. And yeah, what can I say? So it's run by Debbie Tucci, but obviously this is Billy Tucci's wife, and this is Billy Tucci's character She. So She, Return of the Warrior, was fantastic in terms of the quality of the book, the content that you got, and it took a while to come out, I will say that, but it was great. It was a great package. Have very little negative to say about She other than it wasn't a complete story, which then brings up She Haikyo. This is, I'm assuming, the end of the story, which Billy was telling in the previous books. So one cool thing that just occurred, see this FAQ, let me get the stories, is it's already reached a bunch of stretch goals. So it's at 45,000 right now. And it looks like it's going to hit, like I'm pretty certain it's going to hit 50K and go up to 56 pages, which at 56 pages, this is now about 45 cents per go. One negative about the new She campaign is it did jump up to $25. I think the original She campaign was like $19, which was crazy because you got that massive graphic novel and he gave you the She line art edition of Way of the Warrior from way back. Now, I will say this, he hasn't shown it in any of his stretch goals, and I doubt Mr. Tucci's going to watch this video, but like freaking awesome stretch goal would be put She Way of the Warrior #2 as a stretch goal. Just reprint it. It's same thing. Could be newsprint, saddle stitched, however the cheapest I could get. I just like it would just be a really sick stretch goal for this campaign. He might do it like if he gets to like the 100K range or something like that. It would also make it match better with She Return of the Warrior, because that's what he did on that campaign. But yeah, no, nothing to complain. Art is fantastic. Again, I reviewed the book and I read the story. Story's great. Really enjoyed it. Again, it just wasn't complete, hence why we are here. Now, I will say this, not super happy about it being $25, but to be fair, because I know what the quality of the previous book was, him jacking the price up for this one, I have no problem with. It's just $25 is kind of the deal, right? If you think about it, like if I want to back like 4 independent campaigns, right? That's already $100, right? If $25 is your starting part, not including the shipping, which usually is expensive. Most of these things I think is at least like $10 shipping. Something like that. Some campaigns will give you $5 shippings. It's kind of rare. That's usually like an Alterna book, and that's usually because they don't use a Gemini mailer, which can be risky or not risky depending on your feeling of getting the book in one piece, right? But yeah. Anyway, getting to it, like this is kind of a freaking a great book to pick up. I think the only negative I can think of is for why people wouldn't want to get this is that the previous She campaign took a little while to get out, and yeah, that's pretty much it. I really like really like that She book. So yeah, no, check it out. He's only 3 days in. He's at about almost 50K. He's gonna be 50K in a couple days, no problem. As soon as he does like a live stream with Ethan or something. But yeah, I'm pretty certain he'll hit 6 figures with this campaign, no problem. And yeah, not much to say. This is gonna be good. I'm kind of actually pretty excited for the most part for She. Anyhow, that's the video. Let me know what you think. If you like this video, please hit the thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't subscribed, hit the bell for notifications. If you got any comments on This Week in IndieGoGo or any of these books, The Mermaids, ASYL, I don't know what this is, Nasser, sorry, Monster Hunt, Sovereign Wolf, or She Haikyo, leave the comments down below, and I will see you next time.